Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. I've got this little box which my son made for me for my remote controls, and I don't have the heart to throw it away, but it's not quite functional because my remote controls are a little bit big and they keep falling out and toppling, so I'm going to just be modifying it. I'm going to be using this galvanized wire, and I've also got some old fish tank tubing, which is a 5mm tubing. I've cut two pieces of the wire at 20 centimeters each, and I'm going to be cutting the tubing the same. I've cut the tubing and I've just threaded the wire inside the tubing, and I've cut 4 extra pieces which are 25 centimeters each, and I'm going to be threading those into the tubing as well. I've got them all threaded through the tubing, and now I'm just going to be taking my round nose pliers. So I've just got a small one like this, and I'm marking it exactly, I don't think you can see it, so I've marked it just over there so that I can get them all the same size, and I'm just going to bend the wires in that shape. To do the little curl, I'm taking my round nose pliers and putting it right at the end so you can't feel it at the top, and then just turning. And when you can't go any further, just rotate it so that you've got quite a nice little loop like that. And then you just use your fingers to make it go in the shape that you want. So now I'm lining it up with the other one, exactly the same position, and then just rotating and turning it so that I can get a similar shape. I'm not going to get the exact same shape, but something similar. And then just start bending it in the opposite direction so you can get the tail on the end. Just make sure that your tubing is still covering your wire at the end. And then once again, when you get here, just placing it in your pliers and rotating. And then checking. So now they're pretty much the same. And now I'm just going to spray paint them all with metallic silver. I'm going to be using this super chrome to spray my little pieces. I've got this ribbon, which is a metal ribbon, and all I'm doing is I'm cutting off one of the little pieces that holds. So it's got one of the little flowers and a circle and one of the little flowers. So I've cut one piece off, and this is what I'm going to be working with. So you need to cut 2 off like that. So I've cut it up like that. So what I did was I cut this whole section out, and I've kept this piece, and then I've cut one of them in half. So that's what I've got left. And I'm going to be using, these are what they call round rhinestones, 12mm, and they are AB. So they've got a bit of a beautiful reflection to them. And I'm going to be gluing one of those stones on top just there. Then I'm taking this small piece and I'm just cutting it down the center. So I've got 2 little pieces like that. I'm gluing one of my little bling wrap. So I've got one stone that's going to be going behind this big stone, and I've got 2 stones sticking out, and I'm going to just cut one of them off. So I've got my little stone like that, and now I'm just going to glue that to this piece. And I'm doing the same with the other one. I've got some of these rhinestone borders, and I'm just going to be taking one of those and placing it onto the bottom part of this. They are self-adhesive, but I'm still gluing them on. And I'm gluing one onto these pieces as well. And on these tiny pieces, I'm just putting one stone on here. And then just do all four like that. I'm going to be using this a reflective hologram kind of paper, and that's just a book wrap, and I'm going to be just gluing it on the inside of the little box. The easiest way to get your paper apart, because this is a contact paper, is to put the piece as close to the edge as you can, turn it over, and without getting the masking tape touching, put one piece on there, and then it just peels open. I've covered the inside of the box, and now for the outside I'm going to be using this self-adhesive book covering as well, and it's a beautiful glitter one. I'm going to do the same on the sides. I've got my box all completely covered now, and now I'm going to be taking some of my bling wrap, and I'm going to be placing one strip along the top and 2 rows down the side. And I'm doing the same on the top. Then I put the bling on top of the wood. I don't like the fact that the wood is showing through, so I'm taking another small piece of the shiny silver paper, and I'm going to cover these little wooden strips and then glue my bling onto that. I've covered them both, and now I can put the bling on, so it looks a lot better now. And then just do the other side. And all the corners where it looks a little bit messy, I'm taking 2 rows of bling, and I'm gluing one on one side and then wrapping it around like that. So that just neatens the corner off nicely. Just do all 4 corners the same. My pieces are all dry now, and now I'm just going to be sticking some of these stones, the AB stones, and I'm just putting them onto the curls here. And just do both sets like that. For the ones that are the 25 centimeter one, I'm doing them on both sides. Sorry, my camera stopped working while I was doing this. So what I've done is I've finished putting all the stones all the way around, the rhinestones, and I've glued on the accessories that we've made on the bottom here. And now I'm going to do the top part. So I'm gluing the one piece to this side, and then I'm just taking the other piece and holding it in position so that I can get this one set. And now I can glue the other one on. And then I'm gluing them together in the middle here. Just hold them in place while the glue hardens. And now I'm taking this piece that we made, and I'm going to be gluing that on there. And then this piece I'm going to be gluing just underneath here. And the small tiny pieces that we cut like that, you're going to glue onto the sides. And the one circle that we cut in half, I'm going to be gluing onto the top like that. And gluing one of the AB stones to hold it together. For the one on the top here, I've put one of the stones at the back as well. And now I'm taking some more of the little flower ones, and I'm going to be placing them on the 2 points where we just glued. The little metal strip that we cut off the top of the bottom of the ribbon, I'm taking and I'm going to be gluing them just over at the back here, just to give this top one a little bit extra support. And then I'm going to take some more of the little rhinestones, and I'm just going to be placing one there and one there, just to cover up the glue. So like that. I'm putting the same ribbon at the back, and I'm just putting those little stones on it as well, so I'm going to glue this one on as well. The final two pieces I've curled that they're a little bit longer than the other ones, with not quite so many curls here, and we're going to be placing these ones on the side like that. Before we glue these pieces onto the little caddy, we're going to put some of the decorations on. So I'm using the same stones, and I'm just putting them on the outside of these particular ones. And now I'm using the outside loop so that it's got the raised section like that. So just put your stones on. And do both the same. I've got these little self-adhesive rhinestones, which I'm going to be just taking and placing onto the top of this one. So just like that. It's preferable to glue them on as well, because they don't stick very well, so I'm going to glue them as well. So I've just done that small section at the top like that. I'm lining the two of them up like this so that I know exactly where to stop this one. So I'm going to start it at that point where this one ends. And now we can stick them on. Just make sure when you're putting them on that you're putting the one that's got the stones facing outward, and you're putting it on the right side. I'm going to be using a 0.4 millimeter round silver coated copper jewelry wire to attach it in the corners on the 4 points so that it gives it a bit more strength. Sorry, it's very, very fine wire, so it's very difficult to see. Just attaching it like that. So I've just gone around it twice. For the bottom one, I'm threading it through there and then up through that one, and then I'm just going around there twice as well. Make sure that you're pushing your wires into that small section there, and then we're going to put one of their little rhinestones on there, cover up the wires. I've got these large AB crystal adhesive gems which I'm going to be using, and I've just got a piece of aluminium that comes off the top of a coffee tin, which I'm going to be cutting a small strip so that I can place it in between here, so I can put one of my big stones on there and one over here. I've got my small little piece cut like that, and now I'm going to take one of my stones and I'm just going to be gluing that onto there. These ones are self-adhesive, but I'm still gluing it on. So we've got the stone placed like that, so we've just put this one on, and then I'm going to trim that small piece off. I'm doing the same over here. So I've got it placed like that, and now I'm just going to be gluing that one on as well. I've glued it in the back here as well, and now I've got both my stones in place. So there's the big one in the front, and then the big one at the top just here. And that's the caddy completed. Very happy how that's turned out. It's so pretty and sparkly. Thank you so much for watching.